Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a good day today. Before I get started, I just want to say I'm not sharing this dream, vision, whatever you want to call it, to scare anybody or bring fear on people, okay? I'm not one of these doom and gloom guys, but I do feel I need to share this. This is the most vivid dream I've ever had from the Holy Spirit. All my dreams in the past have been vivid, but nothing like this. This was next level, and so I know it's significant. I feel like it's a warning or just an advance notice. I don't know, but I feel like God made it extra vivid to me to impress upon me the importance of it, okay? So I'm going to share with you guys. In this dream, I was lying in bed. I believe it was here in the Philippines or somewhere in Southeast Asia. I was lying in bed, asleep with Lynn and baby Linda. My nanay and Ira Pearl were not in the house that we were in. It wasn't this house, but they weren't here, and I wasn't sure where they were at. But I was awoken by a noise, and I looked out my window, and I saw a volcano erupting violently. It was spewing black smoke and ash, and it was making a sound like a jet engine. And I woke Lynn up, and I said, "Lynn, you got to see this. This volcano is erupting out there." And she said, "Oh yeah, whatever." And she went back to sleep. And I said, "Fine, I'm going outside. I'm going to record this." So I ran outside with my phone, and I began to record the volcano. I remember the volcano was far enough away to where I felt safe, but it was close enough to where I could hear it and I could feel the rumbling. And then I noticed as I was recording that there was other people all around, but they weren't watching the volcano. They were turned and looking in the opposite direction. I was like, what's going on here? So I stopped recording, and I turned around to see what they were looking at. And whenever I did, I saw all of these smaller plumes of smoke coming out of the ground. And at first I thought maybe they were smaller volcanoes going off, and some may have been. I'm not real sure. I'm not clear on that. But then I saw some that looked like small tornadoes, and I was thinking, that's tornadoes, this don't make any sense. And that's when, at that moment when I said that it doesn't make any sense, I saw the first missile go up. And then I started seeing other missiles going up. And that's when it dawned on me that those plumes or tornadoes that I was seeing weren't really tornadoes. They were just exhaust plumes coming off these missiles. And I remember in the dream, I wasn't terrified. I wasn't super afraid. I was in awe of everything going on around me because it was amazing but horrifying at the same time, but I wasn't afraid. But I did know in my spirit, this is it. It's over. It's end game. And so I went back inside the house, and I woke Lynn back up, and I said, "Look, we need to get baby Lindsay and wake her up and just spend our spinal time together. And you know, this is it for us in this realm, you know. And so let's just be together and love each other, and you know, we'll see what happens when we wake up, you know." And I remember Lynn looked at me and she said, "I'm hungry." And so she went to start cooking some fish. And I said, "Well, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to call my mom and tell my mom goodbye." And so I got on Messenger and I tried to call my mom, but my mom didn't answer. My daughter-in-law, Lanny, answered the phone. And she could hear me, but she couldn't understand me. And for some reason, she gave the phone to my dad. I don't know why my dad was there. My dad hadn't spoken to me in over 2 years because of his religious beliefs. But he wouldn't listen to me. He could hear me and he could understand me, but he just hung up the phone. And when he did that is when I saw the first missile hit. And when the missile hit, I remember a giant ball of fire And I remember feeling the breeze from it hit my face, and I remember the heat from it hitting my face. And right before that had happened, I remember thinking to myself, this is the end. This is World War III, and this realm that we live in is purifying itself. That's why the volcano is going off. And once I felt that heat hit my face, boom, I woke up. And I went outside and I spoke with David on the phone about it this morning. And while I was doing that, my wife was having a dream. And whenever I come back in, I said, I had a dream, because she was awake, and she said, I did too. And that's when we shared our dreams with each other. And her dream was that there was war everywhere, and that the governments of the world were trying to depopulate this world. They believed there was too many people, and they were trying to cull people, and they were going from town to town, and they would make a list of the people who could live and the list of people who had to die. And the list was very, very small. It was like 20, 30 people per little town that could live. And I remembered she was telling me that she remembered that people would run from town to town because they'd be like, we didn't make the list there, let's run to the next town, they haven't counted there. Let's get there, and then maybe they'll count us there to save. And people running back and forth, and she said that it was me, and it was baby Linda was with her, but Nanai and Ira Pearl had went off somewhere else. And she said that in her dream that both of us looked at each other and said, there's no reason for us to run. We're going to be okay. Let's go climb this mountain. So while everybody else was running around in chaos, horror, terrified, trying to save their lives, we went and climbed this mountain. And whenever we got to the top of the mountain, there was no grass. It was just like desert, and there was no water. And my Nanai shows up with Ira Pearl. They had been out trying to find food, and she came up and she had a large tuna. And she said, let's eat. And so they began to clean the tuna, to eat it. And at that moment, Lynn saw a pot of rice full of seed. And she took that seed and she strewn it out on top of the mountain. And when she did, she said the rice just busted up out of the ground and just grew so fast. And she said it busted out of its husk and was just rice all over the ground. And she said, and then the water began to flow. And she said that's when she woke up. And so I know our dreams are tying together, and it's even though what I was seeing I knew was the end. What she was seeing was, don't worry about it. We're on that mountain. We're up there with Christ within. And no matter what's going on in this world, we're okay. God's going to provide for us what we need, when we need it, and how we need it. May not be the way we like it or see it, but He will always be there to give us what we need. And those spiritual waters and that manna from heaven, figuratively and literally, It was amazing, 2 dreams, but it was very vivid. It's like I said before, this world, this realm, this program is coming to an end, and it's spooling. And it's getting faster and faster and faster, and it's getting more and more chaotic in this world. But it's all for a purpose. It's for an end game. It's God's end game. They may have their end game, but God's got the ultimate end game, because it's going to be a reset. I believe before Genesis 1, God had filled this place up with water and turned off the sun. I think our bodies work off electricity. When that sun goes off, everybody drops. It's like we're wireless to the sun. I think that's what happened in the last earth age. I believe we're coming to that now. And Father is going to let this place purify itself and cleanse itself, heal itself. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. After I did this today, I went to the gym, and I go to the gym every day. I go there to get my mind right and think. And while I was there was a song playing, an old John Lennon song, it's Imagine. and it resonated with me for some reason, and I want to read to you the lyrics. It says, imagine there is no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there is no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will be as one. I know a lot of guys out there are saying, you know, the Beatles and John Lennon and all them were in the Illuminati and this, that, and the other, but I believe they also wrote some songs that, you know, may not have been their intent, but it was meant to reach out to others like ourselves who resonate with us, and that did mine. And so I looked up some things on John Lennon. It seemed that he died on 8 December 1980. I've told you guys this is a simulation we live in. It's a program. 8 and 12. 8 and 12. 12 is 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11. 1980. 19 and 8 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. It's 11, 9. 9, 11. Okay? His last song that he recorded was I Don't Want to Face It. It was recorded on September 2nd, 1980. September 2nd is 9 and 2. 9 and 2 is 11. 1980, 27. 2 and 7 is 9. 11, 9. 9, 11. He died 38 years ago. 3 and 8 is 11. I see 9/11 everywhere. I see 144 everywhere. I see all these patterns of numbers everywhere. Once you realize that everything in this world is a code, it's a pattern, it's a program. It's all hooked together by a code. You start looking at your old addresses, your old telephone numbers, your driver's license number, your social security number. All these things all tie together, and you'll see that 9/11, that 144, all those things, all those numbers that seem significant and special to you all your life. You'll see that it's all programmed in this place. I believe that there's a way out of here. I believe there is another place that we go to after we come to know Christ here. You know, after we die to self and Christ live his life through us. That's the death that it's speaking about in Hebrews 9:27. All men are deemed to die to themselves, and Christ live his life through us once in his life. I believe after we have died to ourselves, and then we move on to the next place. I believe it's beyond here. What that place is, I don't know. Is it another place like this but better? I don't know. It's gotta be better, or is it somewhere just another place where we wake up on a table, hooked up to this place, you know, going, wow, that was a crazy ride, and what was 70 years to us here was 15 minutes there, you know. Who knows? I don't know. I wish I had all the answers. But I do know, and one thing I know with all my heart and all of my soul, is that God is love. The night that he came to me, I was told to call out to Jesus, and whenever I did, everything changed for me in this life, and my eyes were open to a lot of things, the darkness in this world and what's going on in this world, and that's all I need to know, that God is love, and he has me, and he is in control, no matter how chaotic it is around us in this world. Anyway, I hope these dreams resonated with you guys. If you have anything else to add to them, let me know. I'd appreciate it. And as always, I love you guys with all my heart, with all my soul. And I hope one day, outside of this place, in the real world, that we can all meet up and laugh about all this. I love you all. God bless.